Let's talk about it. We got lots to say. Let's talk about it. Come on.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk About It. My name is Misti Gaither, and I am here at the lovely Moxie Studios in Elmwood. How do you like it, Jim?
I love it.
Isn't it great? I mean, not having to bounce around from place to place and just, I mean, it's so nice.
Moving up.
Oh, call me Wheezy. So I'm here with my guest co-host. This is the first time that you've been here to co-host with me, Jim Meadows, everyone, and we all know and love Jim. He is the executive director of No Age, which, for those of you who do not know, it is New Orleans Advocate for Gay Elders. Am I right?
LGBTQ plus elders.
Oh, I'm sorry, I left out the most
It's
important.
not just for the gays
Oh,
now.
it's for everyone, the LGBTQ plus.
That's right.
Okay, there we go. So we're going to talk about the event that's coming up next weekend. Y'all's big fundraiser that I love to go to every year. It's one of the best events in New Orleans, I think. And so, well, then we'll talk about mine too after that. So,
Sounds
yeah,
good.
that's right. So I'm really excited tonight. We have two wonderful guests. First, we have Dale Shores. And we also have Andrea Romero. She is the president of the LGBTQ Gulf South Chamber of Commerce. So we just have these wonderful guests, and the only way I know what to do is just get right into it and welcome Mr. Dale Shores all the way from, what, California?
Yes.
Yes.
Los Angeles, Hollywood Hills is where I live. So
Well,
here I am.
Well, that is pretty cool. I mean, Hollywood Hills, and I'm just like, well, I'm from Metairie, so.
I love Louisiana, though, and New Orleans.
When's the last time you've been back here? Because I know that when we met, I mean, it was a long time ago.
I haven't been to New Orleans for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
with pandemic and everything.
Sure.
I think the last time was when, I think it was when A Very Sordid Wedding played there, and I came in for that, if I'm not mistaken. But I teach every year at Northwestern State University in Natchitoches,
Okay.
and so I'm always back in Louisiana. I'll be in Alexandria this year for their Apollo crew, their very first Apollo crew. I'm their king. So
Are you now? Alexandria.
Yes, I know, it's like you're shocked because I'm usually the queen, right? But
Well, yeah, and I'm also shocked about Alexandria.
It's their first one.
I know.
They just started it, so
Well, that's
it'll be
pretty
fun.
cool. And so you're king.
I'm the king, yeah, king.
That's pretty badass now. You
I
can
know,
add that
that's
to all your
cool.
other awards, and I know you got like a mantle.
I said, what do I get? If I get a scepter and a crown, I'm in.
Yeah.
But
Ask for a sash too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That way you
yeah,
can
yeah.
wear it. I like the sash. I mean, I used to wear all mine.
anything you can strut, right? Anything you can strut a little bit in.
I'm for it,
and
strutting.
And in Louisiana, there's always liquor, so I figured that I said, okay, this is going to be fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, you cannot go wrong in Louisiana, is what I always say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can because of the liquor, but it's just how
That's
much you do
true,
it, right?
Before the liquor, you can't go wrong.
Right.
After there, several wrong turns I've made many times in Louisiana.
Oh, hadn't we all? Oof. So for those of you who do not know, and Dale Shores, he is the multi-award-winning writer, producer, and director of Sordid Lives and the Southern Baptist Sissies. And I mean, just amazing. You've also had some, I guess, sequels or spinoffs from Sordid Lives, like you said, The Very Sordid Wedding, and then there was there was a series, and then also
That's right.
also a movie.
It started as a play. Sordid
Mm-hmm.
Life started as a play. It's sort of the gift that I gave myself in '96 that keeps giving, and it opened here as a play. It still does many productions a year in theaters, but then the success of it really became to the forefront with the movie, which was, I guess, 2001, and it just became one of those things. Who knew, that people would be, playing. I could walk down a Halloween Boulevard and there's Brother Boy and Lavonda,
Right?
or Juanita.
Yeah, all the above.
So then, Yeah. So then the series came in 2009, and then the sequel to it all is 2016. And I'm done with. I believe. I mean, I just wrote a book during the pandemic called The Sordid Saga, which are short stories. But I think I'm done with the Sordid franchise. You know, it's. I feel. I mean, for one thing, a lot of my actors have died, so
Well, that's what I was
I
going to
don't
talk
want to.
about later, is that you
Yeah.
had like at least 5 or 6
Yeah.
co-stars that's
It's been a
passed.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I laugh, but it's been a sad time for me because we lost, I guess Rue was first, Rue
Hmm.
McClanahan. And then we lost Sarah Hundley, who played Juanita. And then we lost Olivia Newton John and then Leslie Jordan, which was just, it stabbed my heart in a big, bad way. We were so close and for many, 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 many years. So,
Well, I saw
um,
that Leslie, he got his on the Walk of Stars in Palm Springs, and
yes.
and you had something to do with that, with the Del
I
Shore
did.
Foundation.
I That's right. Yeah,
Mm.
and yeah, for the whole history is this. Leslie jokingly did one of his Instagram posts and asked why he didn't have a star in Palm Springs when Dale Shores did, and he poured tea on my star,
Oh,
and it said he goes, "Oops, does anybody have a jackhammer?" And so that went that with all of his stuff, it went so big. And so
hmm.
when he passed away, I posted that with something of my own, and I said, it's time. And the Chamber of Commerce reached out to me, and then my co-chair of the Del Shores Foundation said, "Let's do this. Let's sponsor this." And so really, his fans paid for the star, and then we were able to raise enough money for the foundation that we're now giving a grant to the playwriting winner. The Del Shores Foundation, which was started right before the pandemic, we picked the most wonderful time to launch
Right, right.
because we were basically in limbo for a couple of years. But what we do is we have a writer search every year, and it's to facilitate finding the next LGBTQ plus storytellers from Southern states. And it has just been such a pleasure to watch these artists submit their plays and their screenplays and their short films, and then watch some of them get made. And I just directed the winning play by Jigs Burgess, who
Hmm.
called The Red Suitcase out here. And so it's just been a wonderful extension of what people mentored me. So in in my late age, and I noticed you were talking about senior citizens. Well, I do have Medicare now, so
Hey,
I could.
I mean, you
I
getting great health
it's
care. You probably,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely. But I just wanted to do something. My mom was an educator, and she was my high school drama teacher, and it's kind of been my pleasure to be able to mentor and teach and give back to my community.
And I think that's really great, and it really is a testament of how that you are, because some people, when they make it, they just kind of forget about everyone else, and but you didn't do that. You started this foundation and mentoring and really giving an outlet to those that maybe wouldn't have one.
Missy, when we thought about it, we were
Hmm.
like, okay, how many people have a play in a drawer?
Right.
And they don't know how to get it produced. How many people have a film or a short film and they have no idea what's next? They may have a great story in them, but unless it gets told, unless it gets seen, we're not going to see it. So that's our whole mission is just to find and facilitate the next generation. And when I say next generation, I don't mean the next young generation. I mean
Hmm.
the next crop of storytellers. Our film story, the person who won the film contest this year was 73 years old.
What?
So it was like, what? You're 73? But we don't. It's like The Voice. We don't know.
Right.
We have no idea. We just sort of turn
Right. I'll
around and
say you
there they
turn
are.
around in the chair. 73, and now it's got probably just like a new. I don't know. That would be like 73, and all of a sudden you win. Your play is picked as the best, and oh, that
You're the Golden Bachelor.
the Golden Bachelor. I mean, we
Yes,
just can do all kind of stuff. Medicare.
Yeah. Well,
It's
a lot of
really
times
cool.
we feel it's over. We're
Yeah.
done or whatever. But I always say it's never too late to dream, and it's never too late to tell a story. We've got a lot in us.
You're right. And let me, you're talking about, how you've been writing and directing. Now, what would you say is your biggest love? Like, I mean, you are back in acting too?
I do.
Uh-huh.
I act when people ask, and I've done my one man shows, which I love standing on stage and telling stories. So it's all an extension of me being a storyteller.
Hmm.
And I started out as an actor, so it's kind of been full circle in that way. But I will tell you, if I just recently in directing Jig's play, and I'm also directing his new play Wounded, which won the Fringe out here, and it's going to
Oh.
New York, and so I'm directing the production that's going to New York, and I love directing. I've always said I love directing my own work in the theater. That nothing could be better. But now that I'm directing someone else's work, I'm going, maybe I just like directing good material.
Hmm.
Um, my daughter Caroline told me that I like directing because I get to tell everybody what to do.
Hmm.
You're
Well,
just
there you
bossy,
go.
Dad. But I do. I love it all.
Hmm.
But yeah, directing is just for me it's right now I'm doing it, so it's also it's fresh, for me. So I just love it.
I was, you were talking about Leslie Jordan, and I think that his passing really affected a lot of people, because he kind of got known more during the pandemic from his, like you said, his videos, and people were watching a lot during the pandemic. And I read a article where it says that you were friends and for over 37 years, and I just really, the friendship that y'all had, kind of
It's
transcends everything. I was reading about how that in 2006, how Delta Burke, who was on Designing Women, and Leslie Jordan, they were supposed to appear at Talk on the Town in Nashville, I believe. And
Oh
back
my
in,
goodness, you've done some digging.
that's what I do. Now, 2006. Now, due to about the shows, and Delta Burke was also in one of Dale's shows, and the titles and the contents of your plays, they canceled their appearance because the manager or whomever, they didn't feel that it would really, like coincide with the conservative audience
Right,
that they
with
had.
their audiences.
So you think that that was back in 2006, okay? So you
Hmm.
speed forward now to 2023. And we have, I mean, do you think things have changed a lot since 2006? Or did they change? And with everything that's going on, with the drag queen story time
Hmm.
bullshit, and, DeSantis and different ones really showing their asses about things. In some states, they even try to limit trans rights and medical
Oh
procedures and all
God,
that.
yeah.
So back then they got canceled, due to a name of a show
Right.
and the content. So you thinking in 2023 if things got better, or did they get better and now we're going back?
Well, I think that's what it is. I think
Mhm.
that it did. I mean, uh, with we got marriage, we everything started. We're getting more rights, and then the pushback. And yes, we had this horrible person in the White House who didn't believe any of the shit that he promoted, but he knew that his legacy would be
Right.
if he you know change the Supreme Court to something that would hopefully it's not going to hit us, but it has with states. I mean,
Mhm.
there's so many anti-trans bills right now, and so I think you're right. I think that what happened was we saw all this progress, and we're going, yeah, we have this strength, and then all of a sudden they go, the conservatives and the faux Christians, I call them, because I don't think they're real Christians. I mean, I'm not a Christian, but I'm more of a Christian than most of them.
Right.
You know, they're just horrible, horrible human beings. Uh, so all of these laws and these proposals are are active right now, and it's just a crime what we're having to fight, because you go back to what happened in 2006 with that, and my philosophy, and it hasn't always been received even by the gay community. I got huge pushback by the gay community because I cried loudly when that happened. I went to GLAAD. I said, they said, we are not homophobic. And I said, no, but you're promoting homophobia. You may not be homophobic, but you're promoting homophobia. No, but we have Channel 52 where we have Talk of the Town, and you can go on that. Oh, thank you. You're going to put me on the cable access channel, basically, instead of the network.
Right.
For Talk of the, which was Talk of the Town. And so I made a big stink, and I got banned from the local newspaper there for Out and About, banned me for years. Finally, the amazing James Grady was able to get me back with interviews, and my friend Chuck Long has had me on the show a few times since. But I could have done it differently, but sometimes I don't think people listen when you do when you're quiet.
Right, I agree.
We have to scream loudly sometimes. So I think we have to continue to scream loudly with all of this that is going on. And we saw yesterday, I'm not sure that it's working for them, but
Right.
with women's rights, there's a pushback.
Yeah. It's like they'll, give a little bit, and then when they think, well, they have too much, or the cutting up, and then they try to reel everything back. Like we make some progress, and then it's like, oh no, you can't make any more. So they try to, to pull us back, and
Right.
it's just, like you said, we have to be louder, because you have to be
We do.
louder than them, or you're not going to get hurt.
We've
People's
won
only
these
going to hear.
battles before, though. I mean, when you think back in, 77, when Anita Bryant's coming to New Orleans.
Right.
You look back now, and she's not the hero of that story.
No.
She's the one that
No.
ended up with the pie in her face. When any time a marginalized group of people makes progress, there's always going to be that reactionary pushback.
Right.
The question is,
Yeah.
how do we respond to that? Do we say, "Oh, okay, we'll be quiet now,"
Yeah.
or
No.
do we
Right.
fight back?
Well, yeah, and some of it also, I don't know about y'all, but I'm sort of loving sitting back and watching the infighting that's
Yeah.
going on in the Republican
Right.
Party. I'm going, yeah, go ahead,
Right. Snakes
Yeah.
devour themselves.
go after our drag queens and call yourself a Christian while you're getting groped in a theater at Beetlejuice. Let us just watch.
Oh my God, yes. Well, I know that you're really busy, and Jim, do you have anything you'd like to, mention to Dale, or?
I got one question.
Okay, here we
Fawn.
go.
Yes,
Tell us about, what was Olivia Newton John like? It's one of my all-time favorite singers and people.
I always say that Olivia was truly her image. She was kind, and she was giving, and she was a beautiful human. And she was my friend before I worked with her. Her sister Rona was a very close friend of mine and had been in one of my acting classes. That's how I met Olivia, was through Rona. Rona brought her to my very first play, Cheatin', in 1984. I met Olivia and Leslie Jordan about a month apart in the same theater because of my first play, Cheatin'. They both came to see it.
Nice.
So, but a quick story. This will tell you who she is. It's very quick. But when we were doing Daddy Stein, Who's Got the Will, we got chosen. Our little play got chosen to go to the Edinburgh Play Festival in Scotland, and they were going to put us up once we got there, but we had to pay for our flights to get there. And that's not. We didn't have GoFundMe's back then. We just
Right.
had to kind of beg, and so we were going to have a benefit show. And all of the money that was raised that night was going to go to our airfare. And Rona was inviting Olivia, and Olivia goes, well, how many tickets is it? And he goes, well, it's the cast and Dell and the director. And she goes, well, I'll pay for those.
Wow.
And so she flew us all. Like, it did not want credit for it. I didn't tell this story until after she passed away. But that's who she was. She always was willing to give because she felt so blessed in her own life, and she was her image. She was truly her image. A good human being. I love her and I miss her, and it was devastating when we lost her.
You got to work with so many wonderful people. Rue McClanahan, the Golden Girls, and I'm like, as everybody knows, I'm a huge fan.
All the gay icons.
You're right, all the gay icons, and Rue McClanahan. I mean, how was she?
Oh, she was great. She was really great. We could just stay here all day, and I'll tell you stories.
Oh,
But
sure. I don't have to be anywhere until like 7 in the morning.
I'll tell you one great
Okay.
Rue McClanahan
Yeah, please
story.
do.
Okay, so Rue McClanahan, first of all, this is how she got the role. I wrote Peggy in Sordid Lives, the series, and I often say, I wish for what I don't deserve. And I wish I want Rue McClanahan. So I found her manager, and the manager said, oh, this is logo, right? It doesn't pay anything. And I said, no. But she said, well, I'm required by Rue to send the scripts. And I said, well, there are 12. And she says, well, she doesn't do the internet, so you're going to have to send them to her apartment. So we sent like 12 scripts. That was on a Friday. And on a Monday, I get a call in Shreveport, where we shot the series.
Mm-hmm.
And this little gay assistant, intern came running. He goes, Dal, Rue McClanahan's on line 3.
Oh my God.
And I was like, ah! And so I pick up the phone and I said, hello, Miss McClanahan. She said, honey, if we're going to work together, you got to call me Rue. Or you can call me Eddie Rue, because my real name is Eddie Rue.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay. And she said, she said, Dal, this role, she said, I have always loved playing a woman in love. And at my age, you don't get to do that. And oh, I just want to play Peggy. I want to make love with GW. And she said, but it doesn't pay anything, does it? And I said, no, ma'am, it's logo. And she said, that's okay. I'm rich.
How you like that?
I love it.
And I said,
Great
fair.
story.
So
I'm
she worked
rich.
with me, and I adored her. She was wonderful. She was wicked, and she was funny.
Great memories, huh?
Oh man.
And great
Yeah,
stories.
amazing.
I do appreciate you
Amazing.
being on the show.
Thanks for having me. This
yeah.
has been fun. It's
Yeah.
been a nice break in the
Yeah.
day. Appreciate
For real.
y'all.
So I have just one more question before I let you go. And
Absolutely.
what is the future for you? What do you see Dale Shores doing in like the next 5 years?
Well, I was just talking to my agent today
Mhm.
because, I've been on strike with the WGA, and we just got off strike, but
Mhm.
we really can't go to work yet until the Screen Actors Guild is not on strike. And she said, you're just going to have to wait this out. And I said, so it's okay that I'm directing theater. It's okay. And I've written a new play called The Recipe Box, actually set in Louisiana, y'all.
Oh.
It was inspired by something that happened to me when I was in Natchitoches. And I just, you know what, I want to work with my foundation, and I want to continue to tell stories, and I want to continue to help elevate our community through our storytelling, because I think that the one thing we talked about earlier, how do we change hearts and minds? And for me, it's been through my art. It's been through Southern Baptist Sissies. It's been through Sordid Lives. It's been through the work that I've been able to do. With my voice. And so I will continue to do that until y'all stop listening.
Well, that's not going to happen. So you're good to go. So thank you so
Well,
much. Appreciate you, and hope you'll,
And-
especially when you come to Louisiana to film, I hope you'll be back on the show.
Yes, anytime. And thank you for what you're doing, giving us this voice. It's wonderful. I appreciate you.
All right. Well, you have a good night, and talk to you
All right.
later.
Bye.
All right, bye. Our next guest come in, and we've got a lot to talk about. Let's talk about the No Age Gala.
I'd love to. Yeah. This is I think it's our 7th fundraiser gala. It's a gala, not a gala.
Right, it's a gala. You know how I
It's,
struggle sometimes.
It's it's next Friday, November 17th, 7 to 10 o'clock at the aquarium, Audubon Aquarium of the Americas. We're going to have food. We're going to have an open bar. We're going to have dancing.
Come on in.
We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have, what else? Oh, we're presenting the No Age Awards.
Yes.
So we've got 2 trailblazers this year. I'm sitting with a former trailblazer right now.
Last year. So yes, last year I was the trailblazer, and this year, so excited.
Well, we've had so many fantastic nominations, and so many people are doing such great things. But this year's winners of the Trailblazer Award are Frank Perez,
Yeah.
who's local LGBT historian, and Willie Mackey, who runs the Page Bar. He's winning like 3 different awards this week, I think.
I saw that. He also won at Black Pride.
Yeah.
And I sent him a message today. I was like, Willie, congratulations on, so well deserved. And Willie's been chugging along and doing all his good deeds without. Yes.
Do I need these?
Yes.
You're like FAA.
Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Oh, I can hear you. Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
That's amazing.
So Willie is like they said, and with the Black Pride, and how he is a beacon, and I really believe that. And he's one of my co-hosts here on the show, a great friend, and very much deserved the recognition and everything that he's getting this
it.
year.
Underrecognized. And
Yeah.
Under-recognized.
So he and Frank are the Trailblazer winners, and then we've got the Community Impact Award, and the board selects the winners, but it's the 2023 Southern Decadence Grand Marshals,
Right.
and that's Nicole Dubois, Jimmy Gale, Monica Sinclair Kennedy. They, over the past year, hosted dozens of fundraiser events. That there's a lot of work that goes into being a
Yeah.
Grand Marshal. They went above and beyond just what we've seen in recent years, and all that money they're donating to No Age to support us. After their expenses are paid.
Sure.
So it was a real privilege to have that happen, and just to get a chance to acknowledge them for all the work that they did. I mean, they busted their tails, working for this community. Put on a great parade. It was hot as fuck, but it was like
F word, love it.
Whoopsie.
No, you can.
Del
It's
Shore's
good.
got me going.
Yeah,
But
he's like,
no,
he gave us permission.
They just put on a really fantastic event with the Decadence Parade. So we're happy to be able to honor them. But yeah, it's next Friday at the aquarium. We still have tickets available if you want to grab some while they're still there, because we sell out a week in advance almost every year. Go to noagenola.org, and that's our website, and you'll see a link to buy tickets.
Yeah, and you'll also see me there.
Yes, you will.
I'm like the staple.
Such a great event. that y'all
Isn't it
do.
wonderful?
It's always one of my favorites.
Yeah,
really
it's one of mine
I
too.
have fun at it, and it's a lot of work.
That's why I never get to talk to you. There.
know,
You're having too
yeah.
much fun.
Oh.
Yeah. So the aquarium, y'all kind of rotate between there and the zoo.
Yeah, we've done it different
Yeah.
places. Rosie's Jazz Hall, different places. Wherever Tony Leggio is connected.
Right, connected it.
He hooks us up with
Oh,
that.
and I liked last year too, when y'all had the donuts. Remember? Wasn't that
Oh, I
cute?
remember.
Y'all had the donuts stacked up, and then all the like sauces and
I like
caramel and
that.
all that.
I've heard mixed responses about that.
It has my vote.
But well, sadly, no donuts this year. But everything at Audubon is catered by Dickie Brennan's now, so we'll just have to deal with that.
That's
I guess,
right. I would be.
What can we do? We'll just have to pick up the pieces.
Wah, diggy, wah, wah. I know. Yeah.
Bring a big purse.
Right. Well, you know what?
feel so
This
seen.
Friday, next Friday, November the 17th, you can go ahead and get your tickets for No Age. And also, we have Andrea Romero here, who
Hi,
is
gang.
the president of the Gulf South LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce.
That's
and y'all
right.
have an event coming up, a biz. And
look.
the Shelf Ron thing, and just so much
I
going
know.
on.
And I think there's something else going on next week as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna have to think of what it is.
Power breakfast.
We're doing our
Yes,
new monthly
Tuesday,
networking thing.
Tuesday,
Jim,
yeah.
I feel I need to apologize because would never have stacked our business expo event for the chamber up against such an amazing local event. I think yours is the night after ours. But we typically have done this in the past. Well, it started in June a few years ago. And then after COVID, we decided there's way too much stuff happening in June, just way too much. And so we pushed it back to October. And that was our intention again this year. It's such a great month. But the World War II Museum has been such a good partner. And we wanted to work together, both sides, I think. And they couldn't do it in October. So we ended up pushing it back a little bit. And so here we are. But it'll be great. It's next Thursday. The 16th, I think, is that date. But shout out to the National World War II Museum. I think it's such a great, bleeding into what your earlier guest was saying, and what an amazing guest he is, really. But it's an interesting time in our society. And I think the fact that the epitome of machismo, right, war, not exclusively, but let's just call it what it is. There's a lot there that historically armed forces have not been allies of the LGBT community, whether serving or otherwise. And there's been a real strong movement to turn around on that. And for them, it's been a real important part of their mission to support diversity and recognition of how many diverse soldiers have died on the field or at sea or in the air defending us and defending a lot of people who would not defend them. So I think it is just such a great example of progress can happen if the right people are there. We've got some amazing people we work with, and it's just been a pleasure to do it. So that is next Thursday, November 16th, 5:30 to 8:30 in New Orleans at the World War II Museum. And what is the Business Expo? A lot of people ask about it. It's really just a chance for the Gulf South LGBT Chamber of Commerce to get out there and have a way for the public, for our members, for our businesses, to simply mingle around a trade show style setup where we've got food, booze, but we've also got vendor tables, demonstrator, exhibitor tables set up. So you can actually go around and really get into a deeper dive with folks about their insurance business. We've got a couple of LGBT nonprofits who are going to be out there this year. I know the city of New Orleans has actually expressed some interest. We've got a lot of our corporate sponsors out there. A lot of names that you know. I'd like to get Willie out there with Jell-O shots, but we haven't gotten that yet, Willie. So we're going to work on it one of these years.
That's my vote.
It's just another way for us to try to achieve our mission, which is really connecting the LGBT community, its business owners, and its needs for business and services.
And you have. I mean, I was at this event last year when y'all did it at the World War II Museum, and it was fantastic. I met people that, I'd heard of them, but I'd never had a chance to meet them. I got to network. I mean, if you're a young professional and just trying to figure out what am I going to do for my career, it's a great kind of thing for that. But
thank you.
I really loved that event.
Thank you.
I wish I could be there.
I know.
I'm going to be like
Me too.
a nervous wreck the night before the gala. Gala. But no,
Get it right.
I can vouch that the Gulf South Expo was fantastic.
Well, thank you. And thanks for coming out. You were at our inaugural breakfast that we started last month.
Met people I'd never had a chance to meet. Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Followed up with them.
Good.
Got connected with some other people. And it was a smaller group, but it was
great.
fantastic.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. Next week, we will have Casey Urschel from Uptown Benefits. He's a board member, and he's hosting our event. And then we've also got the fabulous Amy Kirk-Duwassan from Jefferson Performing Arts. She's going to come talk.
They're
And
also a sponsor of the show.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love their work over there at
Amazing.
JPass.
Yeah.
So
Comp
shout out to
tickets
them.
to No Agers for
Did they?
Yeah,
Cool.
for several places.
And they've got a great production lined up. We've tried to do some events together with JPass out at one of their facilities, host one of our normal kind of happy hour networking things. And the timing just didn't work, but we're still working on it, hoping something will happen for the spring. But they've had some fabulous queer-friendly productions this year. You'd have to be living under a rock to not notice them. And so we love that partnership. All of our nonprofits, we know they're doing great stuff in the community. So we were happy to have No Age out there as well.
And that's what it's all about, just working together and promoting each other. Because as I always say, and y'all probably get sick of me, you cannot be a success unless we're all successful. And that, it takes everybody networking and working together to have that. Because if you're, well, I'm not going to support this group because this way, or I'm not going to, this one belongs to this organization, so I'm not going to be in it. And, and it's just like childish. And so
Don't
it
pull
takes,
up the ladder after you got up.
right, it takes us all, whether you like us or not. I mean,
love
it
that.
takes so many of us to make it, and even small businesses, and this, unfortunately, sometimes in our community we don't support the small businesses and LGBTQ owned businesses.
It's a big deal, Misty.
Right.
I mean, and I think all of us are a little guilty of that across the board, whether it's any kind of business or not. It gets back to buying local, and making sure you're actually buying local and small, and somebody's benefiting who's not Mark Zuckerberg or Mr. Jeff Bezos. The other 99.9% need a profit margin. And I think it's also nice. People want to know, I know for me this has been big. People want to know that when I spend my money with you, that you're not trying to extinguish me. Power to the volunteers who help keep especially our rainbow organizations constantly moving in the right direction, refreshing them, making sure the money is there. I mean, honestly, shout out to Winter Wonderland, shout out to No Age and your board for continuing to close that loop and bring that money back into organizations that need it too.
Yeah, and like I said, that's what it's about, helping each other, and just sometimes you just have to be selfless and just kind of like, well, what can I do to help someone else, or what can I do to help this organization? Because it'll come back to you, maybe not monetarily, but the friendships that you make and just the satisfaction that you get from giving back and paying it forward to your community. And there are actually people in our community that are in such need, and maybe it's, like I said, not always economical. They maybe need somebody just a kind word, or, something that doesn't cost anything. So I think that if we are paying more attention to those around us, truly pay attention, I think that things would be a lot better for everyone if that, everybody did that. So.
But there's another side of that.
Yes.
They've got the Gulf South Chamber directory.
Yes.
If you're in the community, go on their website. And I do that. I see who's a member of the chamber to see who I want to do business with.
Right.
If they're investing in the community, it works both ways. People can make money too.
Nothing's wrong. Right. Nothing's wrong with making money.
Mama gotta eat.
We gotta eat, and Lord knows I do. And it's like nothing's wrong with that at all. If you're blessed that way, then that's great. But if you're not blessed monetarily, give what your talents or what you can do.
I think you're right. I'm so glad you said that, Jim, because we're actually starting to work on the next year version.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we got a little delayed this year with some board transitions that we've been undertaking, but we've got some very experienced folks helping on that. So we're looking forward to launching that a little bit earlier this year. Probably after our holiday party, which you do need to put down on your calendar, because we're having a
When is it?
holiday party Friday the 15th of December.
Okay.
This is always a big one for us. And this year we are thrilled to be doing this at the House of Blues.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it's going to be a fun party.
Sounds fun. We'll
They've
have to
been
go.
a sponsor for us, and we're just so happy to be able to do an event with them. They've got a fabulous new chef on board. He's really doing neat stuff. I think we'll be in the parish room. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure we're in the parish room.
Let's do it.
Show up. They're going to stick you somewhere, baby.
Right.
That's going to be 6 to 9 on Friday the 15th. And both of these events I just mentioned, they're free to our members. Always open for public guests. Guests are available to come in. It's usually about $15. So don your merry tidings and your red flannel wear or polyester and come on down. Bring an elf.
All right.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing y'all down there.
Now, I want to, speaking of supporting the community, I just want to go over our sponsors real quick. And we have Chef Ron's Gumbo Stop, which we love, and it's on Causeway. And for, like I always say, for award-winning gumbo from an award-winning chef, go to Chef Ron's. I mean, he has other stuff, salads, po' boys, Chicken Jefferson. I mean, I could go on and on. The Louisiana Pizza Kitchen Uptown. every Wednesday is Family and Friends Night, or as I like to call it, Wednesdays.
That's where I'm going after this.
That's where you're going? Tell Rob I said hey. But you're going to Wednesdays. And what do you usually get when you go there? Like
Pizza.
different...
I just get pizza.
Oh, well, you got to try the Thai chicken pasta.
No.
Yeah.
I just want my pizza.
Okay, well, I get the same. Look, I get grief for ordering the same thing over and over. So,
And is that what you order when you go every time?
yes,
The Thai chicken? Okay.
yeah.
Try that.
The Thai chicken pasta is amazing, and on Wednesdays it is half off all adult beverages, including bottles of wine. So you cannot miss with that. Area 51 Gallery for all your merch needs. Rocket. You know, I got the buttons for this show and then my other show, and then we got magnets. And so if you'd like to promote your organization, crew, birthday parties, whatever, be sure to go to Area 51 Gallery. And like I said, the Gulf South LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce is a sponsor, and we really appreciate them and all that they do for all of us and keeping the networking and the flow going. So thank you for that.
We'd love to see you at some events, lady.
Well, I would love to. The only thing about the Tuesday for me personally, I can try, but I work during the day, so it's kind of harder for me.
is, yep.
But I really think that that's a great thing, and having it at Chef Ron's is just a double bonus.
He's been such a prince to work with.
He's
on that.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then the Bourbon Pride for all your Pride needs. And then they have, like exclusive T-shirts that they design online and in store. And they got a lot of stuff, just not Pride items. They got, they're very supportive of our community too. MCC, the Metropolitan Community Church, Pastor Lonnie and his congregation would love to welcome you every Sunday at 10 a.m. And they really make you feel at home as they share God's love with you, so be sure to check them out. The Page Bar at the corner of Toulouse and North Rampart, Willie Mackey owns that. He's a great friend, co-host of the show, and as I say, the home of wonderful signature cocktails and the best Jell-O shots in New Orleans. And if you don't believe me, go check them out. And then the names of them too, I can't say on the air. But and Kelly Elaine Photography, really appreciate them. They took pictures last year at Winter Wonderland. They're supposed to this year. Actually, this past Sunday, my wife Catherine hosted a baby shower for them, so they're welcome in Charlotte. When is that? Towards the end of January, I think. Okay. So
Mardi Gras baby.
Mardi Gras baby, yeah. Lord. So I appreciate all of our sponsors for all that they do, not just for the show, but for our whole community.
Amen.
So, Jim, you have anything else to add? I appreciate you co-hosting.
I'd like to invite people to come to the potluck. So, next Wednesday, what month are we in? November
the 15th, October? Yeah.
It's one of the ERs. November 15th at 6:30 p.m. at St. Anna's Episcopal Church. Another affirming congregation. Yes. We're having our Friendsgiving potluck. And so I'd love to invite people to come to that. Please bring a dish if you can. And if you want to know more about it, just go to the No Age website, send me an email. Happy to give you directions. But yeah, please come to the potluck. It's a lot of fun.
I think what you give to the community is just so great. So thanks for doing this. I'm glad your show is this is the first time I'm at your new studio. I feel, I don't know, Dave Letterman's hiding around a corner. Is Ellen here? Somewhere?
Somewhere. I don't know.
I think it's great to see your growth, and so good luck. Good luck with Winter Wonderland.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, that's going to be November the 26th, and it'll be, again, at Jefferson Orleans in Metairie. And actually, we're honoring one of our honorees is Jim Meadows here for our Legacy Award, and also for Icon Award, Miss Marva White. Yeah. And I really, when you were talking about volunteering, and I really... She was the first person that came to mind, because anything that you have, and especially if you go to the gay Mardi Gras ball, she is there helping all of them and everyone that she can. So I just really thought it was really fitting that we should honor her, So,
I love that. Yeah. But congratulations to you.
Yeah.
I remember one other thing I want to say.
Go ahead.
So I don't know if people can see this image of the No Age Gala, but the theme this year is Hollywood Confidential. So... In New Orleans, we like to costume. You don't have to costume if you don't want to, but the theme is just celebrities, scandals. You can do whatever you want. We're not going to cancel you no matter how shocking you are. It's going to be fantastic. But if you want to go business casual, that's cool too. But I'd really like people to come to this, support No Age and the elders in our community, and go to the No Age website to get your tickets.
And I'm going to be dressing up just like I did for Halloween as a talk show host. So it's always good.
I was really hoping for the Judy Garland.
Well, no.
There's something about Judy on there.
I
Is
know.
it?
She's
Where?
forced onto a plane.
Oh,
Could
okay.
go a lot of
Oh, there
places
she goes,
with that.
forced on a
Yeah,
plane.
yeah.
Janet's Pop Shocker. I mean, yeah.
When I go as Pee Wee Herman, it is met with nothing but love. It's
Perfect, Pee Wee Herman. Could
it's
you
all
get a?
about Hollywood going bad, and that's what I'm doing.
Well, there you
I'm
go.
gonna have an admit one ticket sticking out of my lapel,
Oh, I got you.
something like that.
Yeah.
Come see me. Come
Yeah,
on.
you're right. Well, I will be
Can
there,
you
and
get
I'll be
the
checking you out,
popcorn
Pee Wee.
thing? I think we need
Oh.
the popcorn thing.
Oh my God.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. We know.
God
So there you
bless
go.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your costume just keeps getting more detailed and more detailed. So thank you everyone for tuning in tonight, and thank you Jim Meadows, and to you Andrea Romero, and next week we'll be back. Thank you, and y'all have a good night.
Let's talk about it. We gonna feel your love.